Yeah, this is like the reality of our life. I mean, sometimes people say, oh, well, you had some time with Srila Prabhupada, you had some time with Srila Sridhar Maharaj, but actually I didn't really understand much about Srila Prabhupada or Srila Sridhar Maharaj until I started to hear from Srila Govinda Maharaj. Actually, this was the real thing. We kind of like, you know, Prabhupada helped us along, you know, stumble along as best we could. But, you know, then Prabhupada later referred us to Srila Sridhar Maharaj. We got to sit and hear from Srila Sridhar Maharaj. But really, we got to hear from Srila Sridhar Maharaj because Srila Govinda Maharaj talked him into speaking to us. That was like later we understood that it was only by Srila Govinda Maharaj's grace that Srila Sridhar Maharaj was spending some time speaking to us. It was, you know, it was all Srila Govinda Maharaj. There was just like, you know, that was the only thing to it. And somehow or other, like that kind of personality was so like munificent, magnanimous, kind, that he would, you know, sit at the same table as us and take prasad with us. We had like, we were so stupid that we sat there and took with him. But, you know, obviously we should have gotten up and like, you know, we're not qualified to be here, but we're thinking, oh, well, he's very kind upon us, so we can do that. But, you know, it was actually, we had no idea what was the real thing. You know, it's like generally we have no idea what the real thing is until it's too late. And then like, oh man, I blew it again. But, you know, luckily, you know, their mercy is like, you know, inconceivably extending to us in spite of, you know, ourselves, in spite of our, you know, in so many different ways, you know, like, you know, consciously turning away, or at least trying not to turn away consciously, but anyway turning away consciously. But, you know, Gurudev is so kind that you can just look at his picture there on the altar and see in his expression, there's like, I was thinking today that there's everything in that expression. There's like, he's like looking at you like, get it together. He's smiling at you, like encouraging you. He's like chastising you. He's doing everything, like simultaneously. That was like Srila Govinda Maharaj. We had that, you know, that chance of a personality who was willing to manifest himself so directly before us that we could hardly avoid it, you know. Like Srila Prabhupada, he would always take prasadam separately, and he was always kind of kept, you know, we would have darshan with Srila Prabhupada. He would talk with us and things, but he was always kind of in a separate way. And, you know, also with Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he was so much older at that time, and he was always also in kind of a very, like, separate way from us. He was there on the Vyasasan, and we were sitting down below, and then, you know, later at the time of Srila Govinda Maharaj, he was like right there with us, like I was saying, in spite of ourselves. He was just, you know, obviously we felt like, wow, Srila Prabhupada is so merciful and so kind. And obviously by the grace of Srila Prabhupada only we got the grace of Srila Sridhar Maharaj and Srila Govinda Maharaj and all our, you know, great Vaishnava God brothers and God sisters. We had all, you know, all this kind of kindness was really manifest by the grace of Srila Govinda Maharaj. I really, you know, have come to see like that he, you know, it was like Prabhupada was there with us, but it was also he was getting permission from Srila Sridhar Maharaj through Srila Govinda Maharaj. So, you know, like, Prabhupada came to the West having gotten permission through Srila Govinda Maharaj from Srila Sridhar Maharaj. So it was like Govinda Maharaj was with us from the very beginning, even though we didn't even know it. But he was, you know, sorry, I get like, you know. Anyway, he was with us, you know, all along. And that kind of like presence that we had from Srila Prabhupada, that we had from Srila Sridhar Maharaj, was really only possible by the grace of Srila Govinda Maharaj. I mean, you know, you just, even now, we can sit here and look at his lotus feet, and there's something else there. We may not, you know it or perceive it or really understand it, but we know, you know, that you know, that something real is there, that there's a life that has come before us to show us what real life is. And you know, all along it was the you know, for some time the hidden hand of Srila Govinda Maharaj, but it was, you know, it was always his kind hand. I really feel like that because, you know, we hear the stories of Srila Prabhupada, why he came, and we know that Srila Govinda Maharaj was absolutely instrumental, you know, in that. In, you know, getting Srila Sridhar Maharaj to talk to Srila Prabhupada about, you know, his service to their Guru Maharaj, and to, you know, to like give the, you know, that Prabhupada would always speak to us. We always heard like, oh, there's this senior godbrother of Srila Prabhupada. We couldn't even imagine. Whoa, like, you know, again, it was one of those things where you know something's happening, but you don't quite know exactly what it is, but definitely something's happening with these kind of personalities. And there, at the time of Srila Prabhupada and Srila Sridhar Maharaj, seated on the Vyasasana with Srila Govinda Maharaj, chanting. Wow! And we didn't even know what was going on. With Srila Govinda, we were thinking, oh, well, he's, you know, the disciple of one of Prabhupada's godbrothers. We had no idea who Srila Govinda Maharaj was. But nonetheless, there was effect that was there. It was just like, you know, this kind of personality in Srila Sridhar Maharaj, we saw like that, but we also didn't really understand at that time, like I'm saying, that Srila Sridhar Maharaj was manifest by Srila Govinda Maharaj's kindness. And you know, we hear all the stories that is a fact. Srila Sridhar Maharaj was very withdrawing. He didn't like to meet with people. He actually was just, by nature, he was a really like a withdrawing sadhu type of real person, like that. So he didn't really like that. But Srila Govinda Maharaj, we always heard the stories. He would go and like practically beg him that these people have come from, you know, he's like 10,000 miles to see you, so you must come and see them. And of course, you know, Govinda Maharaj was always convincing, so he convinced Srila Sridhar Maharaj, and you know, suddenly there he was, seated on the Vyasasana. Who this personality is, you know, someone who's senior to Srila Prabhupada? What? You know, is it like unbelievable? And then what was I going to say? Oh yeah, see, right. And so Srila Sridhar Maharaj is Prabhupada told us he's senior to us, and then that we always see this personality. I remember when I first saw them, it was in the temple in Mayapur. Somehow I was in the temple room, and you know, they came in. Oh, Prabhupada's godbrother's coming in, and you know, he's going to offer obeisances to, you know, and then later we heard, oh, that Prabhupada said that the deity, later they said, well, when are we going to install the deities? Prabhupada said, they're already installed. Srila Sridhar Maharaj has seen them. Like, whoa, what is that? But, it like somehow or other happened in spite of our, half vision. It's like the nature of the great souls is that they just are there. They just come and give themselves, and it doesn't really matter what our qualification is. They just give, and it's like that kind of giving completely like overrules, transcends anything that has to do with us. It's that degree of mercy. We just get a little glimpse of it now and then, but when we do get a glimpse of it, it's like, wow, what kind of world are they living in? Like, and like we get to sit here like in front of their asan. What? Every now and then we can think of that they're like way beyond us, but they've come down and with Srila Govinda Maharaj sat at the same table. I mean, like, how is it frickin' possible? It's just not. It's not possible in any kind of rational, conceivable sense of things. It's just not. But they come from their world and they kind of bring their world with them to this world. And the devotees who get to sit with them get a sense of that reality that's the real thing. That's, we're kind of living in some kind of, bubble of illusion. But when we come before those kind of great souls, even now, Gurudev is seated there. And each one of us, it's not as though we missed anything. Well, of course we did, in one level, no doubt. But Gurudev, he's like, his heart is there for us based on our own hearts. And it was always like that when he was seated there, and it's still like that. And it, it will always be like that. That's just like, sometimes I think, okay, I'm going to leave my body, and Gurudev is left, and Prabhupada is left, but I know they're gonna find me. Not because, of anything that I have, but because they told us that. They will help us. They'll come to help us. And, it may be in a particular form or another form or this or that, but they will be there. It's like Gurudev and, these great souls, they are their own personalities, and like simultaneously, they're the whole transcendental world. They're, it's like, what an amazing thing. You get to sit with a person who talks with you and yet is from another world. Like, how is that even, possible? How's it even conceivable? It's just not. But, this... when you think about it, it's like, wow, like this little bit is so mind-boggling. What to speak of the whole real thing? I mean, it'll like, our whole world will like explode. If we actually get some little perception of who these personalities are and, what they've really come to give us. Like, sometimes I think, well, I may not make it in this life, but maybe next life, and maybe, I don't know how many people think like that, but sometimes I think like that. Like, but it's almost like impossible that they're going to come and help us. But they will. You know, yeah, just like, what? It's like even now, you know, I sit and look at a picture of Srila Govinda Maharaj, and for me it's like, okay, it's a picture, it's representing Gurudev is there, and on one level I can see and feel something, but, you know, for Gurudev to actually, like, be there means that we're like surrendering to, you know, to his lotus feet. That's our entrance to Srila Gurudev, is his lotus feet. And, you know, trying to take to the service that he offers to us, that's like our only hope. But it's the great, you know, it's our only hope, but it's simultaneously it's the greatest hope, because they're giving it to us. You know, like, wow. I'm saying wow a lot. But, you know, we're just somehow or other we've found ourselves into this place which was like, you know, sanctified by the actual presence of the, you know, the real lotus feet of Srila Govinda Maharaj. And, you know, carrying with him the lotus feet of Srila Sridhar Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada and Srila Saraswati Thakur. All these personalities, they're all manifest through Srila Govinda Maharaj. It's true. And only through Srila Govinda Maharaj, as far as, you know, our experience is. I mean, you know, no doubt Prabhupada has his relationship with his disciples, and that's sacred and honorable. But at the same time, you know, to what extent are any of us able to really know what is going on? But, you know, but by the mercy of someone who's like so like forthright and real and with us, like Srila Govinda Maharaj, you know, it's like he was, I keep saying this over and over again, but I'll say it again. He was like with us right here and there, seated there. And he's also here now, but it's also both things are going on simultaneously. And we're like a party to it somehow or other. It's just, it's actually really like that. That, you know, we've really, I mean, if you just look at the qualification of anybody who's born in you know, the Western countries in this time, it's like we have absolutely no qualification by you know, any kind of birthright or any kind of anything, but that somehow or other they've you know, these great souls have offered their lotus feet to us. That's like our only, it's our only possibility, it's our only hope, and we just have to like you know, constantly hear from each other and teach each other and remind each other that this is the like the real thing. And, you know, our surroundings and everything that we have here amongst our friends and everything else, it all has to do with the basis of that real life that they brought into this plane of existence. And because they brought it once, it will always be here. You know, it's, I mean, I can't prove it, but I think it's true. I really do. I think that anybody who now wants to bow down fresh, never having seen Srila Govinda Maharaj before, will get full entry, by his grace. If we're wanting that, he'll give it. So it's up to us, basically. And what we can do is, we can, for people who are new and coming to see them, if we can just teach them to bow down before Srila Govinda Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, and just, pray to them for entry into their world, then we're able to give anybody the greatest, most wonderful gift. There's nothing else. Our lives are so filled with day-to-day stuff and apparently ordinary things, but underlaying it is the mercy of our gurus. That's like the 20th time I've said that, but I mean it each time. That that kind of life we have no access to. We have no access to. But yet somehow or other they, ultimately it was the grace of Srila Govinda Maharaj and Srila Sridhar Maharaj that Srila Prabhupada came. We told that, and we always heard that from Srila Prabhupada, though we had no idea who Srila Govinda Maharaj was, or who Srila Sridhar Maharaj was for that matter. We had no idea, but somehow or other he had been encouraged by his senior godbrother, whoever it was, to come to the West. Prabhupada repeatedly, again and again and again, told us that. And, we didn't understand about how the transcendental world, the system works, even a little bit. Now we understand a little bit maybe. But at that time we didn't even understand anything. But at the same time, Srila Prabhupada gave us entry to his Shiksha Guru. Is it possible? No, it's impossible. It's impossible that, there could possibly be anyone who's in a superior position to Srila Prabhupada. It just doesn't compute. But it's real. It's really there. And how that kind of world works, we don't really know, but we can kind of perceive it just by their presence. Just like if you look there at Srila Prabhupada, looking up at Srila Sridhar Maharaj, there's something's going on there that's really real, that we're only seeing a little bit of. But it's for real. And the life that Prabhupada has given us all manifests through Srila Sridhar Maharaj and Srila Govinda Maharaj and all of our Vaishnava friends and God brothers and God sisters and all this whole wonderful family. It's just we have no qualification. What can I say? Yeah.
I have a question, kind of to the Monday calendar side. And I'm thinking when Guru Maharaj came to ISKCON in Mayapur, that was maybe 1972 or something?
I think it was somewhere between, let me think. Maybe 73, maybe 73, maybe 72. I'm not. That whole time is like haze.
So you saw Govinda Maharaj and Sridhar Maharaj.
Yeah, I had no idea who they were really.
You were a very junior devotee, really, at that point.
Yeah, of course.
You joined, I don't know when you joined, but it was 5 years or something.
Right. Yeah.
And then some period went by, maybe 10 years, before you finally crossed the river to go see Sridhar.
Yeah.
What was it like when you went to see him again 10 years later and you walked out of ISKCON?
Well, I mean, I mean, I never really felt like I walked out of ISKCON. And maybe the structure of things, but the essence of what Prabhupada gave us, I always told him, you say I left, but I never left, You'll never convince me that I left. It just ain't so.
I'm thinking it must have been a very clear break in your own spiritual life to go then back to Srila Sridhar Maharaj after a number of years of not having seen. I'm speculating.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm trying to place that, how that exactly worked. Yeah, okay. It was my friend Bhaktivinoda Sagar Maharaj who told me about Srila Sridhar Maharaj and invited me to come to stay at his land of nectar. And I got to stay in this little hut, wow, this is really bona fide. I'm living on a dirt floor in a real hut. Yeah. What was it we were saying? What were we talking about?
What was it like when you came to Sridhar Maharaj the second time? Now you're a more senior devotee and maybe you appreciate it more. I don't know.
Oh, right. Well, I mean, the first thing I remember coming up the stairway. Srila Sridhar Maharaj would sit kind of in the back on his asan, and I can't remember place where it would be now. But it was just, we'd just go up the back stairs and it was right there. Srila Guru Maharaj was there. And we would all kind of, sit around Srila Guru Maharaj. And I remember when I first sat down, I was looking at Srila Sridhar Maharaj and I was thinking, wait a minute, I think I've seen that before. And then I realized, wow, this is just like I was with Prabhupada. It's like the same thing. That was my first registered thing that hit me, like, this is a Vaishnava. Prabhupada's a Vaishnava, Guru Maharaj is a Vaishnava. We get to sit with real Vaishnavas. It was like, whoa, what kind of world are we being allowed into? It's just, it was just amazing. That I remember clearly. Like, wow, this kind of personality is like Prabhupada left us, right? So we're all like, ugh, how are we going to survive? And all of a sudden, by Srila Govinda Maharaj's grace, Srila Sridhar Maharaj is there. And it's like all the, I can't say all, but, a lot of the emptiness that we all felt when Prabhupada's departure was like relieved, meeting Srila Sridhar Maharaj, because it was just like being with Prabhupada again. It was really, of course, different personalities, and, Srila Prabhupada spoke to us in very kind of relatively simple terms, and Srila Sridhar Maharaj spoke to us in very philosophical terms and stuff like that. But, it was just like kind of different personalities, different time and circumstance, but at the same time, the same thing, It was... it was like that was the main thing, like, wow, we're not alone anymore. There's Srila Sridhar Maharaj, and not only that, there's this kid who's with him, Srila Govinda Maharaj, who's at that time, he was young, I guess, yeah. And we didn't really notice Srila Govinda Maharaj, but he was always like there. He was like the guy who was with Srila Sridhar Maharaj all the time. And later it dawned on us, like, oh, this guy's an important personality. So, yeah. Yeah, so seeing Srila Sridhar Maharaj for the first time was like, wow. Prabhupada has sent us to this personality. Prabhupada has sent us to this guy who's here with us now, who's gonna save our hearts, because it was like that. Obviously it was a lot just kind of external stuff, but we felt some separation from Srila Prabhupada, no doubt. But to find a personality like Srila Prabhupada who was with Srila Prabhupada, it was like you know, practically the same thing, but, you know, simultaneously one and different, of course. But, you know, it was just a new life. You know, like we met Srila Prabhupada, our old lives were finished. And then we met Srila Sridhar Maharaj, and whatever was left of our old lives, or, you know, at least a lot of it, was like, again, taken away. And then, you know, meeting Srila Govinda Maharaj, it like, things become more and more like somehow or other, more and more like finer and heartfelt, manifest through, you know, an apparent junior Vaishnava to these others, but yet actually much more manifest, you know, to us in a very real, like living sense. You know, in comparison, even though it's, you know, wasn't really the case so much, but in comparison, the experience of Srila Prabhupada or Srila Sridhar Maharaj in relation to how we experienced Srila Govinda Maharaj was kind of like, not exactly external, but it wasn't really that deep. We were perceiving things in a certain way based on our previous conception of things. And, you know, also to some extent, you know, something was being knocked through us by their grace. But it was, you know, it was a whole, you know, a whole different thing. What was the question?
I was just wondering what it was like to see Sri Guru Maharaj and Sri Govinda Maharaj when you went back in whenever, 83, 84.
Yeah.
I know myself, I went in 85 to meet Guru Maharaj, and I didn't even know about the existence of Sri Govinda Maharaj. I was there 3 different times, I think, over the next few years. He stayed for many months.
Right.
And he was so much in the background. I knew there were these white-clad Brahmins that hung around upstairs with Guru Maharaj, but I didn't know who they were until he was appointed Acharya. And then only over many years did different people, senior people like you, kind of teach me that actually Govinda Maharaj was behind it the whole time.
Yeah, I was really lucky that, you know, early on when I was staying with Sagar Maharaj at his land, he introduced me to Srila Govinda Maharaj. It's like, this is the guy that we're getting Srila Sridhar Maharaj from. Like, this is the real thing, man. So I was like, okay. You know, and, you know, seeing Srila Govinda Maharaj was like, I remember the first time I saw him, we were walking in the gate with Sri Lekha and I were together then. And we walked into the gate, and I looked over and I said, Sri Lekha, is that Srila Prabhupada over there? And it was like, at a certain angle, it was like Srila Prabhupada, no doubt about it. And it turns out it's Srila Govinda Maharaj. I was like, what? But at a certain angle, he really looked like Srila Prabhupada. I mean, you know, obviously it was some kind of merciful thing going on there, but there was something was there, no doubt, that, you know, whether it was like that, like he absorbed it from Srila Prabhupada, or he absorbed it through Srila Sridhar Maharaj from Srila Prabhupada, or something. He looked like Srila Prabhupada. It was just like, wow, Prabhupada's still here. And it was like, yeah, thanks, Didi.
Yeah, I'll bring more. I'll bring more.
Maybe the aura you recognized, the spiritual aura.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I just, yeah, that was the thing. I felt like I'm with Srila Prabhupada again. Can't even handle it now. I don't know what to speak of then. I was just like, yeah. Yeah, we had no idea who Srila Govinda Maharaj was. This was like Srila Sridhar Maharaj's place, and something of Srila Govinda Maharaj from Sagar Maharaj, but always it was like, because Srila Govinda Maharaj, his nature was always, like backward pushing, right? He always gave full emphasis to Srila Sridhar Maharaj, consciously taking away any emphasis on himself, right? That was just how Srila Govinda Maharaj is. And, so we got that kind of blessing, early on. What year was that? I can't quite remember. I guess it was early 80s, right? Must have been. Yeah. Trying to remember even where I was in the early 80s.
I think.
Was it in Badger?
I remember meeting you first in Badger.
Yeah.
That was mid-80s.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Oh yeah, we moved to Badger in 1980. Okay, right. Okay, right. Yeah, so we got to, we met Sagar Maharaj through Goswami Maharaj, because Goswami Maharaj would always come down to our area and stay with Brisakapi and Sureshwari.
Oh.
And so we got to go over to their house and meet Goswami Maharaj and later Sagar Maharaj. And then we had this like empty trailer that was up above we lived in a like big trailer. We had this little kind of portable trailer thing. It was up above us next to the, we had a, what is it called? Where they have a cement tank and it's water coming naturally out of it. What is it called? A spring. Yeah. So we had a natural spring that was set up there, and we like tapped into it, and so we had natural spring water fed into our trailer and stuff like that, which was really cool. And anyway, Sagar Maharaj lived up next to the spring, and we used to go up and just talk with Sagar Maharaj, and he would come down to our place and preach and discuss with us and kind of just be friends with us. We were really, really lucky. It was really a fully focused disciple of Srila Govinda Maharaj and Srila Sridhar Maharaj at that time. Really like focused, and because of his focus, we were able to get some sense of who these great personalities are. Just by coming in contact with someone who had that. I mean, Sagar Maharaj was really focused, and he was able to give indication to us about the kind of world that we were starting to enter into. He had the realization and experience and connection to convey that to us, and so we were really lucky. And he stayed up in this trailer for like months, I think. Months on end, and he would come down every day and give class and stuff like that, and we were just very fortunate at that time. He was like, he was focused, man. He was really there. And, I mean, happens to all of us. After a while, sometimes we get a little distracted or whatever. I mean, it's not an eternal thing. It's just like part of the fluctuation of the material world. I think we're all kind of like caught in it now and then. So Sagar Maharaj also kind of got caught in it. I haven't seen him for a long time. I don't know where he is now. Is he in North England or something? Does anybody know?
Back in New Zealand.
Oh, went back to New Zealand. Oh, right. Years ago, right? Yeah. Right. Okay. Oh, you were in New Zealand?
Yeah, bike touring.
And you saw him?
I didn't see him, but I saw the devotees there. And he's back in New Zealand.
Okay. Yeah, and he even told me the place where he stayed in New Zealand. I forget. South is Christchurch. What's in north? Begins with an A, right? Auckland. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I was able to stay a little while in Christchurch, and then a little bit less so in Auckland. But I was quite amazed at the whole the whole kind of mood of New Zealand. It was really like completely different than the U.S. It was like, wow, these people are like, deeper type people. I felt like that, They were just like really kind of, I don't know how to say it, but like right there with you or something, Whereas maybe in America we're like kind of, oh yeah, we're kind of here alongside everybody or something, but not exactly right there with everybody, It was more so like that in New Zealand. I was really, I really loved New Zealand and the people in New Zealand and stuff like that. And can't even remember how long I was there, but, and then I also went to Australia. Yeah. Anyway, what was we talking about?
One thing has struck me over the years is so many devotees from Badger ended up in this mission.
Yeah.
So yourself, Kudashrava, Shavdev,
Yeah.
Sarvabhavana, they were all Hasupriya.
Right.
At some point they were all from Badger and ended up drifting down to San Jose.
I can remember, it was a really funny story, when Goswami Maharaj started to come to Badger, and at first, like, I just forgot his name, Sripad Prabhu. At first he was like, I'm Prabhupada's man. I remember we had this trailer, right? And there was this road going up by the trailer. And I remember like, Sripad like driving by, he won't even look at my house. He was like, we all know Shuddha, right? He was like, I ain't looking to them. Yeah. And then, but then later, he became like a light in that direction, just like bam, he just like turned on and accepted, and whereas I was like, turning on over years, he was turning on over minutes or something. Yeah, Srila Prabhupada was like that. Yeah, we were really lucky to have that kind of association with that person. He was, we lived down in the land, Panorama Farms, and he lived up in the trailer park, and which was actually, gradually the devotees practically took over that trailer park. There were like 20 caravans there you rented out and stuff. And eventually it was like more than half devotees. And gradually all the others started to move out. They were driven out, right?
5 in the morning.
Right, yeah. Chanting at like 3 in the morning. It was like that at that time, I think, yeah. 3:30 or 4 or something. Like, these people are crazy. We got to get out of here. My brain is blanking out. Any other questions, or you want to like encourage me in some direction? Oh, I actually wanted to go listen to the ladies. How long have we been talking here?
An hour.
Oh man, I wanted to only talk a half hour. Are they still talking? The ladies still talking?
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't we slip over there? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Jai Gurudev.
Sripad Nyasi Maharaj ki
Jai.
It's Bhakti Vigraha Nyasi. Which is like, yeah, don't ask me, but Gurudev gave me that. Oh, Krishna. Oh, Prabhu.
So,
You can listen there. We'll sing some songs for Gurudev and Guru Maharaj here.
Oh, good, okay.
Okay.
Please excuse me. Dhamdavad, Prabhu.
Page 36. Please take a nap, Prabhu.
It's okay.
Yeah.